Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, this is still around on Warner. I mean, this came out in 2008, but it's like got a Warner thing now, and it's still around. 20th Century Masterpieces, 100 Years of Classical Music. And it's a kind of a remarkable collection in two respects. Number one, it shows us just how much really popular repertory stuff is 20th century, because everyone thinks of 20th century as like hideous modern, but we're now in the 21st century, so it's older than you think, and a lot of it has actually entered the repertoire, which is a healthy take on the process by which the classical canon is established. But then the other thing that's interesting is that they include a lot of actual avant-garde music. And I have quibble with the selections, but I don't quibble with the range. So let's see what the range is. This has, like I said, it's still around. I just saw it on Amazon. I was amazed. 16 CDs, and it was done well in 2008. And it has well, let's face it, a rather English bias, and we'll see what that is in a moment. So what do we got? It's strictly chronological. By the way, the whole thing. It's done in chronological order, which I really like, actually, because it does highlight the range of 20th century classical music. So it begins in 1901 with the Rachmaninoff Second Piano Concerto, and you're going to go, oh, come on. But no, it's, that's the range. It's with Life Ove Ansnes, the Berlin Phil, and Antonio Pappano. It's a good performance. And then we've got 1905, Claude Debussy, La Mer, the Giulini, which is a wonderful performance of that. 1907, Delius, Brig Fair with Beecham. Well, did we need Delius? I mean, I love Brig Fair and I love Delius, but did we need Delius? Yeah, okay. And then 1908, 1909, Mahler, Das Lied von der Erde, Der Abschied only with Ludwig and Klemperer. I think that's horrible. If you're going to do Mahler, you have to do something complete. If you don't want to do a symphony, do a song cycle. Do the Wayfarer songs. Well, you can't do the Wayfarer songs, but you can do the Kindertotenlieder or, something like that. But only one movement from Das Lied von der Erde, that is just asinine, frankly. So there you go. Then we've got Schoenberg's 5 orchestral pieces from 1909 with Simon Rattle. Fine performance. Webern's 6 orchestral pieces in their revised version with Simon Rattle, of course. Prokofiev, Piano Concerto No. 1, 1911-1912 with Martha Argerich and Charles Dutoit, which is, slamming. Stravinsky, The Rite of Spring with Charles McCarris and the London Phil. That's a really good selection. It's a wonderful performance. Vaughan Williams, The Lark Ascending, 1914 with Sarah Chang and Bernard Haitink. Oh, they could have found a better Vaughan Williams choice, don't you think? Really? I mean, Sibelius Fifth with Paavo Berglund and the Helsinki Philharmonic, or up to 1915. 1916, Manuel de Falla, Nights in the Gardens of Spain with Frubeck de Burgos and Gonzalo Soriano. Lovely, 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 lovely. I mean, it's so pretty. I don't care whether it belongs there or not. 1918, Holst, The Planets. Yay. This is Adrian Bolt, so it's got to be wonderful. Elgar's Cello Concerto. Oh, God. 1918, 1919. Do we need that? See, we've already covered 1918. So they could have found something by somebody else. I mean, it's not because I don't like the Elgar Cello Concerto. I mean, I don't, but that's not the point. The point is, you've already got Vaughan Williams. You now have Holst. You see where this is going? All right, Nielsen, Symphony No. 5. Well, that's wonderful, 1920-21, with Herbert Blomstedt and the Danish Radio Symphony Orchestra. Not a great performance. His remake with San Francisco was like a billion times better. But, it's only so-so, the performance, but the work, absolutely. I mean, it's a stunning masterpiece. Honegger, Pacific 231 from 1923 with the Oslo Phil and Maris Janssens. That's fine. Milhaud, La Création du Monde with Bernstein. That's lovely from 1923. And it brings jazz into the picture, which I think is just cool. Respighi, Pines of Rome, also 1923 with the London Symphony Orchestra and Lamberto Gardelli. Not a very good performance of the Pines of Rome, nor terribly well recorded. 1924, Gershwin, Rhapsody in Blue. Well, there's jazz again. It's the Andre Previn recording, which I think is really, really sluggish and uninteresting, soft-edged. 1926, Janacek, Sinfonietta. Yeah. Pro Hardy Orchestra and Macaris, fantastic. 1928, Ravel's Bolero. Okay, I mean, yes. Berlin Phil and Carillon. Do we really need it? Yeah, well, okay, fine. Put it in there. Why not? Hindemith, Mathis der Mahler Symphony with the Philly and Sawallisch. A great performance of that. It's 1933-34. 1935, the Berg Violin Concerto with Frank Peter Zimmermann and the Stuttgart Radio Symphony under Gianluigi Gelmetti. I think that's my reference recording for that work. That's a smoker of a performance. It's fabulous. Then we've got 1937, Shostakovich's Fifth. I think they could have made a more interesting Shostakovich choice than the ubiquitous Fifth. But okay, they did it. The Vienna Phil with Maris Janssens. It's a perfectly good performance. The Poulenc Organ Concerto. Well, that's interesting, with Julian Ware and Richard Hickox. That was on Virgin. Remember that? With other like Poulenc-y things. And that's a very fine performance. That's from 38. Then we've got 1937. We go back a year. Oh, well. Orff, Carmina Burana. Which one is this? It's the Frubeck de Burgos, Carmina Burana, which is a very good Carmina Burana. And, of course, we had to have that. But, okay. I guess it's okay. The thing is that Carmina Burana is a gloss on Stravinsky's Les Noces, but they always already did Stravinsky with the Rite of Spring. I mean, okay, never mind. Barbara Adagio. Oh, gee, Something American with Michael Tilson Thomas and the London Symphony. From 38, we're still stuck in 1938. 1939, that's how it's all scrunching in the first half of the 20th century. Rodrigo, the Concierto de Aranjuez. Oh, yeah, with Angel Romero and Andre Previn. Britain's Sinfonia de Requiem from 1940 with Simon Rattle. 1942, Copland, Fanfare for the Common Man. This pissed me off. This is with Enrique Batiz and the Orquesta Filarmónica de la Ciudad de Mexico. No. Copland deserved better. He really did. I mean, you have some major American composers from this period, and if you're going to only pick like tiny ones, come up with do Appalachian Spring, do something, But the Fanfare for the Common Man, that's when we have to sit through the Elgar Cello Concerto. I mean, please. All right. Khachaturian, two movements from Masquerade with Ephraim Kurtz of the Philharmonia from 1944. That's kind of like another sop to the Russians. Bartók, Piano Concerto No. 3 from 1945 with Dutoit and Martha Argerich. It's a great performance. 1950, Strauss, Four Last Songs. Well, they're not exactly 1950. It's not when they were written, since Strauss was dead 2 years before that, or a year before that, but it's when they got performed, I guess. With Nina Stemma and Antonio Papano. And then Tippett, the Fantasia Concertante on a theme of Corelli from 1953. Okay, so you've got to do Tippett now. We've done Britten, we've done Tippett, we've done Elgar, we've done... Yes. Ludoslavsky, thank God. Concerto for Orchestra, 1954. 1956, Walton's Cello Concerto. Oh, I would so much rather have done the Hindemith variations. I mean, it's Walton's least interesting concerto. It's with Lynn Harrell and Rattle and those people. Then we've got Le Soleil des Eaux by Pierre Boulez, 1956. Oh well, it's Pierre Boulez doing it, so I guess we're happy. I mean, you should do some Boulez again. I would do a complete large work. I would, and I don't even like Boulez, but you have to respect the composers. Make it so it's a couple more discs instead of 16. You have 18 discs to do a complete Das Lied von der Erde and a complete big thing by Boulez. You should do the works that are the most iconic, that their reputation is based on. But that's me. I know. Penderecki, the Threnody for the Victims of Hiroshima from 1960. All right, that's okay. Bernstein, Symphonic Dances from West Side Story, 1961, with Pavel Yarvi of the city of Birmingham. And Messiaen, Et Expecto Resurrectionem Mortuorum. Okay, that's a nice representative piece with Serge Baudo and various people. Harrison Birtwistle, Tragedia from 1965. I mean, really. You've got the whole Darmstadt school that you could be choosing from, right, to do the avant-garde, and instead they pick Harrison Birtwistle. Okay, well, it gets worse. Dutilleux, Cello Concerto. I mean, it's a fabulous piece. Tout un monde lointain. all the world, distant world, everything's a distant world. Yes, with Rostropovich and Baudo. I mean, it's a great performance of a great work. So I'm happy to have Jutia in the mix. Goretsky, Symphony Number 3, with Jacek Kaspchik. Yes, I forget that. Don't even try to correct my pronunciation. And in 1976, yes, I mean, the advent of return to tonality minimalist things and stuff like that. Hans Werner Henze's Barcarola. Okay, with Simon Rattle, it's 21 minutes. And then we've got Compact Disc 15, Arvo Part, Spiegel im Spiegel. You can always do that. Takamitsu's Waterways. John Adams, The Chairman Dances. John Tavener, The Protecting Veil. Oh, God. Well, it's one of his better works, let's face it. It really is. But if you're going to do Arvo Pärt, you don't need Tavener. You could do somebody else. You could do Philip Glass. You could do Marcel Landowski, Adagio Cantabile for String Orchestra. Well, that wasn't necessary. Mark Anthony Turnage, Drowned Out with Simon Rattle. Now, come on. We already got Burt Whistle. And Schnittke Minuet, 2 minutes and 47 seconds of Schnittke. He deserves more. He really does. He deserves better. Nicholas Maw, Dance Scenes from 1995. He doesn't deserve anything as far as I'm concerned. And then Thomas Addis, Asila, which is actually kind of a fun piece. But again, that's the end of it. A lot of, it's 20th century masterpieces as seen through very English eyes. And what do you expect, folks, really, from these EMI productions? It's kind of funny. They have so much more stuff that they could have chosen, and things that, well, we could all argue, right? We could all quibble about the details. But I will say, once again, even though they start going through much bigger chunks of territory in the second half of the 20th century than they do in the first half, where all the fun stuff is, it's still, I think, an interesting box. It does what it says it's going to do. It covers the 20th century and presents a tremendous and fabulous range of music, although I would have done it differently, and wouldn't we all? So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.